Hi there, welcome back to our little handmade home. It is the 12 days of Christmas in July and we are up to day 5 already. I have another wreath project for you today. It's a little different than the ones I normally do. You can see a peek of it behind me there. And I think you're really going to like it. It's very fun, it's very fresh, and it's super easy to do. So let's get started. Today's wreath is a little different than we've done before. The supplies that I'm using, I have a 16-inch foam wreath form. I picked this up at Michael's, but you can probably get them at most dollar stores. Just gonna peel that off of there. I have some lovely black ribbon with some deer on it. I have little fairy lights. These are warm white. These are a battery operated fairy light that I picked up from the dollar store. I have floral wire and my snips. And as you can see here, I have feathers. These actually came from a dollar store, I believe, at Halloween time. So if this is the type of wreath that you want to make, keep your eye out at Halloween for these feather boas that are perfect for costumes. We're going to use these to make our wreath. So we'll set those feathers aside for right now. And we're going to start with our lights. If you have a wreath form that is not white, or if you are using a different color feather, for example, if you have red or pink or whatever works for your decor, if you want to, you can wrap your wreath form with ribbon before you get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unwind these. And these are quite a long string of lights. These you can get any time of year, especially around wedding season. I think these were left over from our daughter's wedding reception. So you can get these anytime. So get those untangled and then start by placing your battery pack where you need it. So this one, as you can see, you open your battery pack this way. So make sure that you'll have access to those. So start by placing that at the top. The reason that we're going to use such big ribbon is that it's pretty much as wide as the battery pack, so the ribbon is actually going to hide the battery pack. Now you could tape it to your wreath form. I'm going to use wire because then I can still have easy access to the batteries. And what you want to do is just wrap your lights all the way around your wreath. So it's always a good idea to test your lights before securing your light pack onto the wreath form for good. And if you want more lights than what your first round is offering you, put on a second batch. Once you have your lights on all the way around, it's time to add our feathers. Now sometimes these boas are continuous, but usually they will have a knot, something like this, where the two ends have been connected and you've got the loops. So just look for those and those will be your starting points. And be prepared to be covered in feathers by the time you're finished. Now again with a little piece of wire and secure it to our wreath form. You can start pretty much anywhere. I like to have my starting and end points where the ribbon is going to be so that if there's any sort of weird bubbling or anything, the ribbon generally will hide it. Okay, so that's on there good and tight. Make sure that you're not going to cover up your buttons for your light boxes, and then wrap your ribbon around. Now I have two boas here, so I can either go around once with one boa and then go back and cover it, or I can make sure that I go halfway around. It's a little hard to tell with the feathers if you've got really good coverage until after it's on. Try to be fairly gentle with them because your feathers will fly off. When you get to the end, you can just secure the next one right on here. You don't have to use wire again. Of course you can. So what I'm gonna do is actually wire the strings together, because if you tie them, you are gonna end up with quite a large knot that could be visible on your wreath. So I'm just gonna string them together like that. Of course, clip my wires. And then I'm going to clip some of this thread off. So when you get to the end of your feather boas, just wire it into place. And then to make it stay in place, once the wire's twisted up nice and tight, you can actually push the wire down into the styrofoam. That will help it stay. Once you've finished wrapping your wreath, go ahead and put your length of ribbon on it. I'm going to use this gorgeous black and white deer print. I think the simplicity of it really works with this wreath. And then we're going to see how it looks. Thanks again for joining me for day 5 of the 12 days of Christmas in July. I hope you love your feather wreath as much as I love mine. As always, if I have any links for you, they're going to be down below, and I'll be sure to link to any past projects in this series that you might have missed as well. And be sure to come back tomorrow when we're going to be making some very cute little Christmas tree ornaments. See you then.